What it do, y'all? It's your boy King Ed the Great coming at y'all with another video. Be sure to subscribe and hit that like button for me. So let's get to it, man. I want to talk about the gang-related soundtrack that dropped in 1997. And it was an interesting soundtrack because it was a transition period for Death Row Records. If you listen to that album, that soundtrack, you could tell that Death Row was making a transition sound-wise, sonically, from when Dr. Dre left. Gone were the heavy G-Funk samples and that polished, crisp, in-your-face style production that you heard on songs like Keep Your Heads Ringing and Natural Born Killers and Murder Was the Case and all that. See, when Dre left, Death Row took a different sound. And you listen to the Dollfather album, it was more smooth, laid back. It had like a mafioso type vibe on that Dollfather album. Even with Machiavelli, you listen to Machiavelli, it was a more darker transition. When you listen to songs like Hail Mary and Blasphemy and Against All Odds, and it was more so a dark transition they was making. So Daz, he basically took over the in-house producing around that time, about 97, with sound arranging, beat making, and all that stuff. Now, what I remember from the gang-related soundtrack was they were using the Tupac songs as the selling point. It was 4 new Tupac songs at the time, which Made Niggas, Life So Hard, Staring Through My Rear View, and Lost Souls. 4 of the possibly the best pop songs on his catalog, maybe. And keep in mind, Made Niggas and Lost Souls and Staring Through My Rearview. Staring Through My Rearview is a top 3 Tupac song, bottom line. But you listen to the Death Row gang-related soundtrack, the beats on there were more smoother. They didn't rely on G-Funk. They were a bit more laid back. You could listen to Mash from Your Dreams, What's Your Fantasy, Way Too Major, Lost, what's the name of that song up there? Gang Related with CJ Mag, Dub C, and Trey D, I think. It was a big shift transition. And the songs were dope. Daz can produce his ass off, man. I mean, he's a dope beat maker. But one thing I noticed about this, oh yeah, I forgot about These Days with him and Nate Dogg. It was very smooth, one of the best songs they did. But notice Snoop Dogg isn't hardly on there at all. This was at that point where Snoop was about gone. You could tell even when he was on the only track up there, which was Hollywood Bank Robbery, you could tell he ain't even want to be on that bitch. It's like Suge stuck a gun to his head like, alright nigga, give me these sweet 16s right now before you go. And he was whispering on the song. You could barely hear him. You could tell Snoop wasn't even there. He didn't even want to be on there. And he was on the hook for Life So Hard. So Snoop was on his way out the door. And Nate Dogg, he only had one song up there, which was These Days. But most of it, for the most part, they were focusing on the Outlaws. It was focused on Daz. It was focused on Corrupt. Corrupt got a dope joint called Loped Out Hood. It was more so focusing on the out Midwest talent. Even Tech Nine had a song up there. Then they had Ice Cube, Mac 10, the All From the Eye. That was the first time I ever heard from All From the Eye was this soundtrack. But it was a dope cohesive project nevertheless. It had some songs there that I could have got rid, couldn't make the cutting floor, but dope project nevertheless. Very dope project. So check out Gang Related. One of the best hip-hop soundtracks for 1997. Was very slept on. This is King Eric the Great signing out. Subscribe, hit the like button. Peace.